small that's found in you. In you we know it's small that's found in you. There's an overflow, abundance of favor. It's a new level. It's a new level. There's an overflow, abundance of blessing. I'm taking over. I'm taking over. There's an overflow, abundance of favor. It's a new level. It's a new level. There's an overflow, abundance of blessing. I'm taking over. I'm taking over. There's an overflow, abundance of favor. Lift your voice. Abundance of favor. It's a new level. It's a new level. Lift your voice. It's a new level. There's an overflow, abundance of blessing. Abundance of blessing. I'm taking over. I'm taking over. There's an overflow, abundance of favor. Abundance of favor. It's a new level. It's a new level. It's a new level. It's a new level. It's an overflow, abundance of blessing. Abundance of blessing. I'm taking over. I'm taking over. I'm taking over. I'm taking over. Lift your voice. I'm taking over. Taking over. Taking over. I'm taking over. Taking over. I'm taking over. It's a new level. 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 Come on and declare it. It's a new level. It's a new level. Level of increase. It's a new level. New level. It's a new level. It's a new level. A new level of my faith, Lord. It's a new level. It's a new level. It's a new level. I'm taking over. Say, taking over. Taking over. Taking over. Lift your voice, declare, I'm taking over. I'm taking over. Yeah. Taking over. I'm taking over. 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 Yeah. There's an overflow. There's an overflow.
Time for this Kairos moment as we are here to receive your word on faith, how to make our faith work. I ask that let the understanding be sound. Let the word come unto us in simplicity of speech and expression. Let us leave here as testimonies and with testimonies of your word. In the name of Jesus, we call it done. Amen. Take a seat. God bless you for being here. This marker there, don't like this kind of marker. Bear with me with that for the handwriting because of the marker. Initially, on a normal, the handwriting is very nice. To me, it's very nice. Keep your opinion to yourself. If you think yours is nicer, come and try. Amen. How to make your faith work. So last Thursday, we looked at faith and how the measure of faith works and how it is with everyone. And I spoke about how that per your position, as in the coding by which you came, the universe's coding by which you came, has a lot of influence on your faith, how you will express it. Talking about your measure. And it also points you in the right direction as to how to grow your faith, or the emptiness or the spaces that you need to fill up in terms of growing or boosting your faith. Are you with me? I have this, I know this man of God who has a little bit of issues with miracle money. It's not as in miracle money, but like with some miracles as in someone showing you favor out of the blues. And it's because of when he was born. There are certain things that he has strong faith about them that I don't have. My faith is not as strong as his in that regard. And it's also because of how I was born. So you see how you were born. When you were born, you get all those things in place. You know where your strength is, what you have to pay more attention to in terms of the growing of your faith or the increasing of the measure of your faith. So sometimes you meet people and they go like me, this thing there, I don't really think it's like this. This one forces like that, and it works for each of them. But then this one is not working for him or her because he or she thinks that it's not like that. But this one sees it like this. So in that effect, you don't know how it is, but this one I've seen how it is because of the way he was born, when he was born, where he was born, what the cosmos have to say about his birth, the codings of his name, the alphanumerics of his name, and the gematria and all that of the person's name. It tells it that this person is like that, that person goes this way, this person goes that way. Are you with me, church? Are you with me, church? Yeah, so it points in that direction, or it points in that regard. So with this, we can tell that you, per the time you were born, per the things surrounding your birth, and per the gender you are in, and per a few other things about you. For example, when we talk about the palm, in Akan or in Akan or the Ashantis, they call this palm insem. And it's a homophone to insem. So what you say? Insem is a homophone to insem. Insem is homophone to insem, as in insem kwede. Issues. Do you get it? So the name given to this locally tells you that insem, where you insem, onsem, memensem ni. These are issues about me, and these are yours. Yours is what is in your hands. This is what is in mine. And it brings us to the issue of when we are going through, I'm not talking about palmistry or anything like that, but then there are things about me that actually tells how I'll take things, how I'll go about things. It gives indicators, they are indicators or instructions of how faith works with me and how I take things, how I relate with things, even in the world. It is all around us. It is all with us. So if we begin to communicate or we begin to have a relationship at any level, you should know my faith. Have a fair idea about my faith, and I also have to have a fair idea about your faith. The reasons for our issues is because we don't know how to accommodate each other as humans. And many of us are blind to the fact that there are certain things God has ordained that clearly spells out whom I am and how I'll relate or I behave under certain circumstances and in certain events, how I'll go about it. Only few people know. I've come to the awareness of this. And out of those who are in the awareness of this, we still ignore it. Like you. You still ignore it. How many of you have sat down to find the zodiac sign of your friend and gone through your notes the day of the week he was born to understand some things about your friend or to know some things about your friend? How many of you have taken the pain to do that? Or about your boss? Or about your beloved? Do you get it? After going through that, there are certain things that you would now come to understand why the person is like that. And it's not just about reading it once. No. After knowing it, you walk in the consciousness that, okay, listen, I won't take it too personal because this person does how the energy, the underlying energy of the person's existence is like this. This is how the energy flows. That's how the energy flows. Without it, you always have issues. Some things you are not supposed to take at heart, you take them at heart. You get too personal with some things. Meanwhile, this person doesn't see anything wrong with what he or she is doing. It will take time for the person to come to, it will take time. The person should be given time to come to the realization that this is that, this is like this is like that. Because ideally, the underlying principle of the person's life, the ruling principle does not accommodate or it does not include these things you are actually seeing to be different. Are you getting it? Are you with me? So ideally, before two people get married, you should go and do an inquisition. In the no, now cover by wire omo ko ebusa. Ebisa no. Someone will say, well, the people of old, were they doing these things? They were doing it. Why? Ebisa no, when you go and see the fetish priest, the priest at that time, let me not use fetish, the priest at that time, the priest will tell you to go and come later. They had all this, they knew all these things. He will sit back and then do all these things for the one coming to marry your daughter or the one your daughter is going to marry. Which one is that? The one coming to marry your daughter or the one your son is going to marry? They will do all that. And later I'll tell you what this marriage, this union holds. I don't know if you get it. And when a child is born, when you go through the scriptures, the names that was given to people in the scriptures actually reflected, it was a reflection of their lives, how their lives went. It was just like that, I was in line. So we should understand that life is some way. And one thing is, when you begin to understand life, some things people see to be nothing which is actually the works of the devil to frustrate destinies and life. To you, it is everything. It's World Cup to you. Many people go like, oh, it's nothing, but to you, it's World Cup. For you, it's everything. Why? You have now been awoken to the reality, and you also have been awoken to the mechanisms that the devil is using to frustrate people and their destinies. For example, changing certain letters in your name. Let's say the moment, what name should we use? What name should I use that people change things in it? Okay, let me use John. This is John, right? Now, people have different ways of spelling John. They add D to it. So either or any way you try to do it. But get this. Get it. This thing you have added to it changes everything. It changes the meaning of this John. This one is not the same as this. And this one is not the same as this. And this one is not also the same as this. The reason being that the first letter of your name and the last letter of your name have things to say about you, about what you are going to master today and whom you will be tomorrow. It speaks about two timelines of your life. So let's say your name starts with an E, and because of this, I don't know how to call it. Is it modernized way of, I don't know. What expression should I give to it? Modern word or the modernization of stuff. And mind you, these things, those who are doing these things don't know. They have not been awoken to the effect of these things on people. I'm not here to do that. Like I would have taken you through a few of them from A to Z. What each letter means and the kind of impact it has on people. And you'll be shocked. Yours will be on point. All those with A, there is an influence of A on them. All those whose names start with B, there's an influence of B on them. All those whose names start with H, ends with H, there's an influence of H on them. There is something about them we can say, and all of them can relate to it. So as you are changing it, you should understand what you are doing. Do you get it? Know what you are doing as you are adding things to it. Now, God picks a man, and the man's name is Abraham. And do you know how God changed the man's destiny? He added H to his name, and that was it. The man's destiny changed. And do you know what? Then the H God added to his name. His wife said that we are of age. We've gone past the age of fertility. We can't give birth at this time. God just added H to it, and his wife's womb. He also added H to his wife's name, and the womb was open. A letter, just a letter, opened somebody's womb for the person to conceive. You should understand that the same letter can also shut somebody's womb. A letter taken out or a letter added can also shut somebody's womb. It can also tamper with somebody's destiny. Because it was just a letter. Neither shall thy name anymore be Abraham, but what? Abraham. God added only He to his name. And that was it. His name changed. His destiny changed. Everything about this guy changed. When God was talking about how He's going to make him father of many nations, it's just a letter. A letter. So the letter you are taking now, do you know what it does to your name? Understand the letters in your name, understand the characters in your name, and know what to add or what to take out. Don't just follow how someone spelled it. Are you getting it? Just because it sounded nice. Sit down and calculate and see whether if it is. If it does not, child of God, hold on to what you have. At times, people's life changes when they add just a letter to their life gets better. But you should know what to add, what not to add. Do you get it? So, this whole thing about faith also comes to that level. At that individual, unique, or uniqueness, that level of that uniqueness, what makes me me? In what galaxy will I come from? I come from the Milky Way galaxy. Okay, in the Milky Way galaxy. In what universe? Let's start. In what universe is going to come from? Okay, it's going to come from this particular universe. Okay, in that universe, what cluster of stars is going to come from? It's going to come from this. In that cluster of star, which galaxy is going to come from? It's going to come from this galaxy. Now, the universe I chose, or the universe I chose to come from or to come into, also has its own effect when it comes to fate at that level, and its own destiny when it comes to the divine purpose at that level of the universe. Because at that level of the multiverse, each universe in the multiverse has its own purpose, or its own assignment, or its own destiny. Then you chose to come to this universe, and we are in this universe. And in this universe, there are clusters of stars. Each cluster has its own unique destiny. And you chose to be of this cluster. In that clusters, there are galaxies. You chose to be of this galaxy called Milky Way galaxy. Then in the galaxy, you chose to be part of this ecosystem. And in this ecosystem, you chose to be part of what? This planet. When you chose to be part of this planet Earth, that was not the end of the journey. In this planet Earth, you chose which part of the Earth to come from. And that is not it. The nation to come from, that is not it. You also chose which country in that nation to come from. That is not, you are not done. You are not done yet. Which part of that country? Which tribe? Which house? You chose it. You are not here by mistake, you chose it. Which tribe? And afterwards, you chose which home? That was not it. You are not done. You chose which man? Of whose loins you come? And when your father was choosing your mom, he was choosing the way he wants his daughters to look like. And his sons to look like. Don't take that one serious. Are you with me? You chose it. And afterwards, you chose the timelines to come. That wasn't the only thing you actually decided, though. You decided whom to be your friend. The people you are coming to this earth with. Hey, you chose that. Oh no. When we come to this earth, those who have been to this earth and have come to where we were, they were telling us about how, Charlie, this planet, that place you are going to, life is not easy there. We're like, we'll still go. We saw the glory that lies after, if we come and we do well, what we stand to achieve. So we were still willing to come because of what we saw, the reward we saw in coming. At the camp meeting, I'll take time off and take you through the journey. How we came, you took the decision when to be born. It was all decided. Then later on, we have the morning star sit and then have that kind of meeting. Which people are supposed to come at this time? Those with this kind of, this generation, this and that generations, yes, let them come. You know that when you go through the dispensation of men and you go through by the arrangement of the stars, the people of old, they predicted that we are going to get to a social media generation. They call the generation X. And at the right time, when I'm talking about that, I can't meet, I'll explain to you why they called it the generation X. And it's exactly suited into the generation we are moving into. How did they know this thousands of years ago? There were no laptops like we have them today, right? How could they predict these things? So you go through the hieroglyphs of Egypt and all that, and you see mobile phones being drawn on walls, being inscribed on walls, and all those stuff. There were things they saw in their minds, in their meditations, that they were coming. Are you with me? So just get it. Just get this. Because of all those decisions, they influence the measure of faith we came with, or we have, as people. And it gives us a level of confidence when we are doing some things. Or when we are handling some things. For example, let's say someone who is of the element earth, another person who is of the element water. The two of them want to get into real estate. The one with the earth has this kind of confidence within him or her, this kind of strong faith. But the one with the water will not have that kind of faith, that kind of conviction as the one with the earth. Why? The earth, per the way he came, this kind of things comes to him with much ease. And he knows he or she might not be able to explain. But there's something deep within him or her that is convicting and convincing the person that he or she can do this one. But the one with the water have to find a way of, he has to go deeper beyond water and come to the place of making earth stand out of water. To be so sure and to carry the same amount of confidence as the one with the earth would, because he has to find earth in water. Are you getting it? So it's with everyone. So he said, let everyone know how to handle his own vessel. Let everyone know his own vessel. He said, in sanctification, in setting you apart. So by your vessel, what sets you apart by the vessel you are? What sets you apart? Know how to possess your vessel in sanctification and in honor, setting you apart. What sets you apart? By the vessel you are in, what sets you apart? And what is honoring, or what honors this vessel? Or what brings honor to this vessel? So the man will be wondering, women cry, what is with this marriage with women? It is one thing that brings honor to the vessel she is. If she's able to sanctify herself unto marriage, it brings honor to her. But you, the man, you don't really see honor like that. You see honor in your success. So when the two of them fell, the word of the Lord said that God said, your desire will be towards your man, towards your husband. Why? Per her vessel, in her sanctification, in her setting apart. And what will bring her honor, or great honor, or one of the things that will bring her honor is this one. But you per your vessel, that thing that you don't really see that to be something that brings you honor. So he said, from the sweat of your face will you eat bread, and from tilling the ground. When a man finds bread, he finds so much fulfillment in it. Are you getting it? Are you with me? How many men have you seen praying for marriage? How many men have you seen praying for marriage? Oh Lord, ragadagada, this year is my year of marriage. Let me find it. No. Unless he or she has gotten to the place where life is demanding you to marry. Like Pastor Elvis. But sometimes with the lady, even at a very tender age, when she's praying, she will mention marriage in it. You should understand the vessel. And you should understand the vessel in the sense that they are per the vessel you have. Certain association is dishonoring to the vessel. Because of what the line you chose to come by. Someone will be born by, let's say, into a royal family. The person will go like, me, I don't really think that the ways of royal life is actually something I should succumb to. It's something I should actually. It feels like slavery to me, or it feels like it is. I feel so dissatisfied with it. I think life should be like, no. What you are going through is a corruption in your system. Why? It's because you've not maybe come to the realization that you chose to come by this bloodline. You saw the way of life of this bloodline and you accepted it. You saw the people you can associate with and people you cannot associate with. What the abominations of this bloodline is. But you saw the glory behind it, or the glory after all this. And that is why you said you will come. From the day I realized I learned this thing, I stopped saying some things. Usually I'll see my friends who are from very good and I'm like, I realize and then it was not God who brought you into this family. You agreed with him. Genesis chapter 1 said, let us understand. And at that time, you were in him and you were with him. So when Jesus came, he did not say, why this cup? No, he said, let this cup. He knew he chose the cup. He chose to drink of this cup. So he said, let this cup, not why this cup. But the question we are asking most of the time is, why this cup? Why me? Why this cup? But when you saw the glory and you were choosing the cup, you did not ask, why me? I didn't forget it. You saw a trophy, you saw a prize. How honoring it is. That is why you chose it. See, the whole thing is this. If we would understand some of these things and now begin to reach out deep into ourselves to find out what it is and why we came. God has not left us blind to these things. He has put certain parameters and measures in place for us to come to the knowing knowledge of these things. Are you getting it? So it is up to you and I. So in Hebrews chapter 12 verse 2, he said, looking unto Jesus, the author and finisher of our faith. What's what he said? Who, for the joy that was set before him. Son also the you. For the joy that was set before him, endured the cross. The joy, see, initially when I read this, I was thinking like the joy, he saw it in a vision. No. He sat there and he understood when he was coming, what we spoke about, what we all agreed. We're all loving God, but he loved God more than all of us. And we appreciated him for loving him. And we all agreed that yes, you will come, be the way, we'll follow you through this cosmos journey. When he saw the joy that was set before him, he saw the joy that lies before, that lies ahead. He was inspired and encouraged to endure the cross, the spitting, the beatings, despising the shame, and is set down at the right hand of the throne of God. He saw the joy in it, and so he despised the shame What is the shame? All my friends are going to those big schools and only I have to sell to even go to school. Yes, you saw all that. You saw all that. But then you saw a glory ahead. That is why you decided to come. That's why you accepted it. Stop feeling like you are at the wrong place and it was in the wrong. No. I came. You saw something, that's why I came. And the other, what do you want me to do? See, when you come to this realization, you stop thinking about why this family, why this time. Could have been better, could have been in someone else, I could have been born by someone better. And then channel all your energy towards finding why I came this way and what I saw that made me accept everything to come this way. What I saw. There was something Andy saw. There was something Andy saw. Deacon Andy saw. There was something Deacon Kewa saw. For which, out of joy and gladness, he embraced this path. He too bombed this path. And you know the amazing thing? God made provisions throughout the journey. But unto you, accept the path. The provisions will remain hidden. Not hidden as God has. God is the one hiding it all. From Accra to Kumasi, there are things on that route, right? When you go through Wazim, when you go through Nsawam, when you go through mountains, there are things you see. When you go through Central Region, there are things you also meet on the way. Let's say you want to buy you want to buy something. Let's say you want to buy something from Lindador. And you are going to Kumasi by flight. You won't get it. Or you chose to go to Kumasi through Cape Coast. You won't get it. Why? The path you are using, this thing, though it exists, but not on this path. The path you have chosen, God's provisions has been made for your life. But you have chosen a path which is different from the path he has designed and set before you. Because when you chose that, when you made that decision, there were people you were introduced to as helpers and help. But you've chosen a path. And those people are not supposed to meet you on this path. That does not also mean that the path is a smooth path. But there's provision on that path. And it is for the sake of that path. That is why you were born the way you were born. There's a strength in you you've not discovered because you are working on the wrong path. The path you are working on, what is needed, the requirement to work on the path you are working on now, if you are out of that path, you don't have it. That's why it's crashing. That's why it's killing you. That's why it seems to be swallowing you up. You don't have it. But for that part which the Lord has set before you, you have it. Hebrews chapter 11, 26 to 27, he said, he regarded disgrace for the sake of Christ as of greater value than the treasures of Egypt, because he was looking ahead to his reward. By faith, he left Egypt, and not fearing the king's anger, he persevered because he saw him who is invisible. The man saw something. I get in it. So Paul said, by the faith of the elect he was born. He said, the God who set me apart in my mother's womb, you are set apart for this cause. There will be challenges on this part, but the strength to handle it, to overcome it, has been ordained in you. So let the weak say, I am strong. You see, it is not in any circumstances that you can say you are strong and you be strong. No. What strength has been ordained in you? So he came back to say that let everyone know how to possess his own vessel in sanctification and in honor. By your vessel, what easily comes to you? By your vessel, what provisions have been made? By your vessel, what is in you? Someone is not born again. The person seems to be strong mentally, seems to be strong at heart, seems to be firm in his or her decisions. Why? You don't necessarily have to be born again to step on that path you chose. No. Being born again sets you on a higher path as well. And it brings in the very essence of life. That is Christ. And sets you on the path of Christ realization. You might not be born again, but you can still find out why you came, where you are going to, and walk on that path. Because when you get to know it, you know what is in you, what you came with, what are your strengths. Are you with me? Someone came with a skill in terms of artworks. Whenever the person is engaging in anything or anything related to art, with so much is without stress. Someone came with the ability to be a politician. That's the part. Propaganda. There's a lot of things. You see those things with the person set on that part. It's not an easy part. It is rough. But something actually compelled the person. Something was actually convincing the person to take that part, to keep pushing, to keep trying. It will work one day. Another person took that part. When giddy. And it didn't work. The person stopped and the person became a teacher. And the person is now a successful teacher. So all that comes into as factors of you, your faith, and the measure you came with. Are you getting it? Are you with me? In 2 Timothy chapter 1, verse 11 to 12, he said, and of this gospel I was appointed a herald and an apostle and a teacher of this gospel. This is why I am suffering as I am. Yet I am not ashamed, because I know whom I have believed, and I'm convinced that he is able to guard what I have entrusted to him for that day. When you're on that path, there are days you cry. There are days you feel broken. But I saw all these days, and I said yes. Why? Because I saw the glory at the end. After I've gone through all these things. I saw the things I will achieve, the things I'll have. I saw my inheritance. I saw all that, and I said yes. You saw all that, and he said yes. How you wish you had chosen a smoother path, but there's no smooth path. The reason why we see somebody's path is smooth is because the person went through that path. That's why it seems smooth. When a rough road becomes a major road, it demands the road being fixed, being cleared, being leveled, and then being covered. It's no more a path. It now becomes a road. Why? Someone have used it. And it has caught people's attention. That's why you see it looks like it's a smooth path. There's no smooth path in this world. In this life, there's no smooth path. The smooth path you see is because someone used it. The rough path you are on today, if you would actually embrace and consciously be awoken to what God has and the universe programmed in you, and you would accept, embrace it, and through Christ, through meditation, and through the things you are taught, you go through it. It will become a smooth path for your kids and the generation ahead. In Isaiah chapter 6 verse 8, he said, "Then I heard the voice of the Lord saying, whom shall I send and who will go for us? And I said, here am I. Send me." Do you know about Isaiah's ministry? The way Isaiah suffered. The way he was beaten. Whom shall I send and who will go? And Isaiah said, send me. God will tell him that, the Lord will tell him that, stand here, face the palace, say this thing to the king. Hey, you this king, you are doing this, blah, 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 things that sounds offensive. That will offend the king. He said yes. He said yes to it. So, in that he was actually revealing to us why he would do what he said he would, because he had the opportunity to find out what he said, yes, send me, I will go to. Because he embarked on the journey to find out. Many people have never been bothered about it. They are just bothered about what people have and what they don't have. Imagine how smart you are now. If you were born by a very rich man, you wouldn't have been this smart. It's because you were born into a family that you were forced to be cataract smart. The way you can enter places with that confidence, and how hard-hearted you are, or how hearted you are. I chose this path I'm working on. Say, I chose it. I chose it. And I'm working on it. And I'm beholding the glory behind. In the name of Jesus. Jeremiah too said, when God said, before I formed thee, I have ordained you as a prophet, you have accepted it. He said, whenever I speak, I cry out, proclaiming violence and destruction. So the word of the Lord has brought me insults and reproach all day long. It's the same thing with us, doing the work of God. Insult is part of it. People will insult you. As demons, you are casting them out, they are insulting you. Human beings who are not demons are also insulting you. Whatever they are telling you their mind and all that. You are a CEO. You are employees. The people working for you, they are insulting you in secret. As you, I say, Papa, good when you must, especially if you are a Ghanaian CEO. they are insulting you, you embraced all that. So when you hear that they are insulting you, you don't take it too personal. Why? You embraced it, was part of it. If you want to lead, child of God, you saw the insult. You saw the backbiting. You saw the disloyalties. You saw the loyalties. You saw both sides. I'll do it. But if I say I will not mention him or speak anymore in his name, his word is in my heart like a fire. A fire shut up in my bones. I am weary of holding it in. Indeed, I cannot. Do you get it? So in doing whatever he's doing, there's that kind of conviction, that kind of faith with it. He knows this is God who asked him to. He knows this is it. I like the way you are quiet. My spirit's fine. When who is careful? No. Notwithstanding the fact that life would have been better for you if the previous generations have done better. But then, you didn't turn a blind eye to the possibility of they not doing better. You saw it. It was a possibility, something you were not ignorant of. And you still went on ahead to say yes. Why? What they didn't do, if I'm able to carry the family, people, to where I am supposed to, if they had done what we're supposed to do, the way we're supposed to have done, it was supposed to have been done, my reward increases. Are you getting it? So you saw it as an opportunity. That's why I still said yes. I'm saying. No, the reason why you are suffering, sometimes when you are suffering, you feel like your strength, your energy has left you. It is just because you are not in touch with your spirit. Listen to what Jeremiah said. He said, it is in him like fire. Sincerely speaking, there are days I don't want to come and preach. Like this morning. I woke up, I was lying down. I don't want to come and preach. How I wish today it was like Saturday. Or it was Friday. He said, it happens to you too. You don't come to church. Do you get it? Sometimes I just wake up, today, church. I don't feel like going to church. Today I don't feel like preaching. You don't feel like doing it. But it is not, I didn't accept to come and feel things. I accepted to come and do things. Is that, do I feel like closing? I feel like closing, but I can't close. Do you get it? But yes, this is what I said I'm going to do. This is what I said yes to. By the time I realize I'm dressing up, the next thing I will know, I have this thing in my hands. By the close of the day, I'll go back to that mood again. Are you getting it? Say. Today I'll close early, now I'll not close early. At that particular time, it is like you just stand, and by the time you realize you've blessed somebody's life greatly, you came to bless life. You just do it. If you understand the path you have taken, it's not smooth. There are days all the energy leaves you. There have been days you are meditating to come and preach, and it's like you realize that today meditation, it was like nothing was in your meditation to come and preach. Not like you don't know anything. No. No. With our line of ministry, we've studied a lot by God's grace. But it's not like I'm coming to, I don't know what to come and say. But I can't come and say all the things I know. So I have to be in meditations with the Spirit for me to be in tune with the Spirit to know what to say for the day, what to talk about for the day. But there are some days you are meditating, there's nothing coming. Just some few minutes to the thing and like talk about this. You go and you start talking about it and you realize that it really, the impact of that word was beyond what you imagined. People were really blessed by it. You just can't stop. You felt like not doing what you are doing again. But something inside of you pushed you. Oh, dear, yeah. Oh, there are so many. Don't always wish for a better life. Better life is created, it's not wished for. It's not a wishful thing. Live and make it better. Persevere. Have that heart. But first of all, know you. Know you. When you realize you have a heart that is full of jealousy and envy, know one thing, that you are actually deviating from whatever path you took. Why? Why will I choose to be a pastor and he will choose to be a lawyer, and I'm envious of him being a lawyer? Lawyer. The way he's doing, my Lord, my Lord, my Lord, there no is that. Me have to prepare someone come and preach down, but the people will not take it. I have to, they'll bring the same issue to me. This, and it's stressful. He became a lawyer not long ago. See the houses he has built and stuff. I've been a pastor for several years. I'm still living in that chamber and hall. No, the moment you begin to do that is because you've not come to understand. This thing I'm doing, or whatever thing you are doing, if you be consistent, if you keep doing it, because you have discovered this with you, see, you'll be shocked at the end. Because when we're coming to, you decided when the big money is going to come. That's why it's already in your hands. It has been designed when. Some people try to do an inquisition. Oh, Charlie, do an inquisition. The reason being that some people, their wealth is in old age. So if you are that kind of person, you should know that there are certain things you can't be doing now. Why? At old age, you need great strength, because that is where your wealth is. So you cannot be drinking, weakening your liver. You cannot be womanizing or menizing. You cannot do certain things everyone else is doing. Why? Your wealth. The time of great success is old age. It's in your old age. Maybe yours is after 70. That's where it is. So if now you are fooling around, breaking your system down, at the 70, you be like that, you be working like this. And how are you going to achieve the success with this? Are you with me? Ephesians chapter 4 verse 1, he said, I therefore, the prisoner for the Lord, appeal to and beg you to walk, lead a life worthy of the divine calling to which you have been called, with behavior that is a credit to the sermons to serve to God's servants. Do you get it? Worthy of it. There are others, theirs is in their youthful days, it ends by 40. So you have between 18 to 40 years to amass as much wealth as you can and do investment. Because from 40 onwards, you don't really have great success over there. You live on what you've accumulated. So if you have not invested them all, your life will start declining that way, falling down the pit. So if you keep procrastinating and you hit 40, forget it. You are going to live a very simple life, beyond simple. Why? You have wasted the time. So at that time, before you actually do, like, you and your friend are going to go clubbing, going to do this, you have to know yours first. Maybe that friend of yours who's going clubbing and all that, the person's own starts from 50. Or no, moko club na, uchele, boom, sokotu. Keep on doing sokotu. By the time you realize, no, at the person's own might start from at age 35. At age 35, suddenly something comes upon the person is not doing the clubbing again. The person is not doing it. The person is so focused on a particular project. The person's energy, the person is exerting all the energy that he or she has. And by 40, 45, boom, the thing has happened. Yours was when you were sokotoing. You have sokotoed your blessings. You have drunk, you have boosted your blessing. Your blessing is drunk. I talk at them. Are you getting it? Discover yours. In 1 Corinthians chapter 7, verse 17, he said, and don't be wishing you were someplace else or with someone else, when you are right now in God's place for you. Where you are right now is God's place for you, like I said. Live and obey and love and believe right there. God, not your marital status, defines your life. Don't think I'm being harder on you than on the others. I give this same counsel in all the churches. Are you with me? Amen. Andy? No, I don't know. Why am I here? See, the moment you know why you are here, you know where you are going, you would accept the problems you have today and see them as challenges, not problem, meant to destroy you. You see them as challenges you need to overcome. Things that have to make you tough. I never forget it. It doesn't matter, it doesn't matter who decided to work with you or not to work with you again. You are just so focused. You just keep pushing and pressing on. Why? Because but some way, I've lost this customer. Hey, the business is collapsing. Someone have taken my customers and all that. No. You just know this business will thrive. This business, where I'm taking it to, where I've seen this business go to, where I've lost these customers. You sit down. You don't get broken by that. You sit down. You make your corrections. You come again. Why? Because you know where you are taking this thing to. And you'll be patient in doing it. Because you know what you said yes to. Some people, they've not realized whom they said yes to over there as well. That's why I told you that if you're angry with your father, you need to go and ask God for forgiveness. It doesn't matter if your dad took care of you or not. You can't be angry at your father. Why? We were in agreement. We all agreed he should come before you. If you would have been someone better than him, we would have agreed that you come before him. Because we knew you would have been worse. So we all agreed that he should come so that we come after him. Why do you think he's worse? It's because of the things he was subjected to in growing up and all that. Look at you now. You were not subjected to the same things he was subjected to when he was growing up, right? And look at you now, sitting there hating him because you think he hates you. Are you not seeing the irony of the whole thing? You might have been worse. I'm not saying that he's venerated for whatever thing that he has done. No. What I'm saying is that leave whatever thing that he has done to the one whom we all said yes, and we are coming to as we have come. Obey every other principle that is there when you came to meet it. Honor your father and your mother. Honor them. Obey your parents in the Lord. Are you with me? There are days we pray for people and we have serious attacks as men of God. And we have serious attacks. Do we stop praying for people? No. Now we go looking for how to get tougher, that these things, when they come attacking, we'll be able to defeat them with ease. Why? If you are not sure this is the pattern, hey, all this man of God go, hey, me, I can't be a man of God or a woman of God. Then you know that maybe the path you took is not this path. But if this is the path you've taken, the question will be like, so how do you handle it? Because I can't back out. The business is actually, Charlie, business in Ghana is not easy. The things you have to go through and so far. Now you are thinking whether I have to do business or to go and do a regular work. Regular. R or B. If you are not careful, and an end come into the middle of it has turned into music, R and B. Amen. Do you get it? Just stay in there. And get this thing. So far as you are working on that part does not mean that you not have weaknesses. You not fall short of some things. But those things does not define whether you become it or not. Those things has its own effects in the process and the progress of time. But it does not abort why you are here. That's why we don't understand why some people have bad morals, but they are still moving on in life. Is the person still on that path? Don't you have friends who have bad morals, but they are still moving on, right? And people with very good morals, but they are not moving on. It's not about good morals and bad morals. That one has its own rewards. The bad morals have its own effects. The good morals have its own effects. But then, the question is that, is the person on the path? Have you sat in a bus to Kumasi before? Haven't you seen how people behave in the bus? How they behave in the bus is so uncalled for. Sometimes speak so bad of them. Someone can fart in the bus. Infringing on everyone's right to breathe. To breathe fresh air. Human right. You are busy or you someone might be a homosexual. To you, the person is a sinner, but the person is so successful. Sodom and Gomorrah. Let me tell you something about Sodom and Gomorrah. See, one thing I like is this. If you stand for something, stand with it and be able to defend it against all odds. If you're against something, be able to defend your stance against all odds. Don't come and do it by throwing some things into our eyes that we later find it was not like that. What made God destroy Sodom and Gomorrah was not because of just homosexuality. Homosexuality was one of it. Let's go there. There was the sin of Sodom. The Bible spoke about how these people were just spending money anyhow. They were rich. I didn't forget it. They were rich at the same time. Ezekiel 16, verse 49 to 50. Behold, this was the iniquity of thy sister Sodom. Pride was part. Fullness of bread and abundance of idleness was in her and in her daughters. Neither did she strengthen the hand of the poor and needy. And they were haughty and committed abomination before me. It was not just abomination. They were haughty and they committed abominations before me. Therefore, I took them away as I saw good. It was not just that. There were other things to it. They had money, but they didn't strengthen the poor. They wouldn't help the poor and all that. There were rich people in their midst. That's why they were fully. If you are in this suit, there is what would actually be a thorn in the flesh of this suit, which you don't have to handle, which has its own reward. But that does not mean that because of it you are not going, you will go. You might be battling with a particular weakness. Maybe the weakness even showed up before you walk into a meeting, and God will tag the man of God to pray for you of a financial door, concerning a financial door ahead of you. Like as if God did not see it. That does not mean he has disregarded what he did. No. What you did is different and it has its own effect. You see the effect soon over time. But let's focus on work. This is work. In your workplace. When someone smokes, does the person come to work? Yes, they come. The weed smokers come to work. The womanizer come to work. The drug addicts come to work. The murderer will be at work at the time the law of the land actually. Even at the workplace, someone will kill another person to take position. The person is still in the workplace. You get it? That is an issue to handle, but we are looking at the matter of what you said yes to, which is part of the underlying principles of your life. Amen. So, your faith is not just any other thing, not independent of a lot of factors. There are a lot of factors that comes in there. Then we also look at your experiences and your exposure. Moses was exposed to all the knowledges of Egypt. So when God tells him that, go to the river now and do this, this, and that, he understands. He knows what God is trying to do with this one. What this one is trying to, what this is about. What that is about. And the things he saw with God. All those things came to factor into the kind of faith Moses walked with. Are you getting it? So a lot of things comes in the longer way to affect you, your conscience, the ruling principle of your life, and your experiences in the Lord. They are all connected. Adam. What did I say about air? You can lose everything. Okay, say. Air can lose everything. When was Adam formed? When? In which month? Under which zodiac? According to the sages, Adam was formed at Rosh Hashanah. Rosh Hashanah. In the month of Tishri. Check me out. The month of Tishri. I think it's Tishri, yes. Now watch this. How did they know that was when Adam was born? The Bible is made up of timelines. Do you get it? Watch this. The whole thing with creation is a matter of building. When you're looking at creation, look at building. Look at building a house. Look at a temple. Look at a tabernacle. Why am I saying that? The Hebrew word for the first letter of the Bible, which is in the first book of creation or of beginnings, start with bets in Bereshit. Are you getting it? And bet speaks of what? A house, right? So, it speaks of a house. So, what it means is that when we are looking at creation, we are looking at a house system. And in the building of the house, it's the first 3 days that is used in building the house. The other 3 days is for furnishing and for detailing. And the last day is for rest. It's just like building of the booth for tabernacle. So the first 3 days is when the entire building thing is done. The next 3 days is for furnishing and detailing. Let's go through the work of creation. The first one was in the beginning. The first day, let there be light, there was light. And you know that speaks of the first month, Nisan, where there is Passover. Then we move to out of the 7 feasts, there is the 3 major feasts. The 3 major feasts are Passover, Pentecost, and Tabernacles. Now, Passover happens at the beginning of the year. Depending on the calendar you are looking at, Nisan, the first month. Now, when we talk about Nisan, we are talking about it is the first year. You know, Hebrews have about 4 years in 4 beginnings or 4 years in their calendar when they come as years are concerned. So we are talking about the Nisan. We are talking about the year of kings. So when we look at even the zodiac sign for Aries, it speaks about the king, Perseus, and all that in there. Now, when we take the beginning, let there be light. I'll come and talk about it from another perspective too as well. The light within that time actually comes during the solstice, which happens between March and April. Can you give us that table of the solstice and then the... So from around after Tabernacles, the earth begins to get darker following the calendar. You know, as we are approaching the month of December, the earth begins to get darker. In December, it gets darker. And then we begin to leave it to the time we see the first spring of light. And then it reaches its zenith in the middle of the year, that is around Cancer. Then we see the last of it. Okay, we have the solstice and the equinoxes. Now, the first one, the last, let's start from the place of darkness, the darker one, Can you put it here for us? Which is the winter solstice. The winter solstice starts from 21st to around 22nd of December. So within that time, there is great darkness. We have, let's say, longer nights. Let me put it that way. And in certain part of the world, they go a couple of days without light. They don't even see the sun for a couple of days. And when is the time when we have the summer solstice, they don't see night time for a couple of days because of where they are positioned. So looking at this, you realize that we move into the period of great darkness at the winter solstice and the period of great light at the summer solstice. Then at autumnal equinox, that happens within September 23rd to 22nd to 23rd. That is at the autumnal equinox. Then we have the vernal equinox, that is in between 20th to 21st March. That falls into Aries. That falls into the month of Nisan. Do you get it? So from the time of the great darkness, when we start seeing lights, is in Nisan. That is Passover. Are you getting it? That is Passover. Let there be lights. And there was light. Passover. That was around that time. And then we go to the next one. God separated the light from the darkness. So, by the reason of this, the first month, the month of Nisan, falls in line with Aries. Aries is of the element of fire, which is light. And then we go to the next one, which speaks of Pentecost. Pentecost happened around close to or around the time of the summer solstice. That's when it happens. And then Tabernacles. It also happens under the sign Libra, which is the month of Tishri in the Hebrew. And that is around 22nd to 23rd. That is where the autumnal equinox is. Is somebody getting it? Are you with me? Now watch this. Are you following? So the whole creation thing is a building. The whole account is like constructing a building. Then the Bible comes and says that your body, it is the temple of the Holy Ghost. It is the temple of God's Spirit. This is where God's Spirit dwells. And Jesus will say that you might be in them even as you are in me and I in you. Meaning that where God dwells, the house God was putting up to live in is you. I don't know if you get it. What he was putting up to live in is you. Is you. This you sitting here. Me. That's why we say he lives in you. Stop sleeping, say. You. That they all may be one. Thou, Father, art in me, and I in thee, that they also may be in us. That the world may believe that thou hast sent me. So, are you getting it? So your body becomes a temple, which is a house. And Adam's body was built from the earth. Do you get it? It was built from the earth, from the dust of the field. But you know, the very essence of Adam was created in the book of Genesis chapter 1 from the 25, 26 downwards. And how did Adam become a living being? Watch the whole thing. Adam became a living being by breath. The animals the Bible didn't talk about the breath of the animals. He spoke about how God breathed into man the breath of life. And the man became a living soul. Why will God use wind to revive man? Bring man alive in this body. Save it is under the element of wind. That is Libra. So Adam was born under the zodiac sign Libra. which is Tishri. Which is Rosh Hashanah. Now, Jesus being the last Adam should also pinpoint something to you. It should point out something to you. That it should follow a sequence and it should follow an orderly system. When Jesus was born, it was when they were celebrating the feast of Rosh Hashanah. That was when Jesus was born. So when Paul was saying that, and so it is written, the first man Adam was made a living soul. He understood what he was saying, and the last Adam was made a quickening spirit. He knew what he was saying. I don't know if are you here with me, church? Why? They were born within the same space of time. They were all born under the zodiac Libra. They were all born around the Feast of Tabernacles. That was when all of them, that was when this one was formed. That was when this one was born. They all came into this world about the same time, having the same elements. So that should tell you how Adam had it all and he lost it all. How he could lose it all, just like the wind. And that should tell you how the Lord visited Adam. They heard the voice of the Lord walking in the what? In the cool of the day, in the wind of the day. Are you following? Are you with me? Are you with me? So with that, you can look at Adam and start perceiving things about Adam. If you understand, and also about Jesus. Start gaining understanding about Jesus and understanding some things about him. Why? Okay. Oh, all right. Oh, okay. All right. Now, when you take it from the civil zodiac, from the civil zodiac, Adam will be a wind. Jesus will be a wind. But from the cosmic or the eternal zodiac, he is water. So in Adam's name, the last letter of his name is Mem. That speaks of water. Are you getting it? The last letter of his name is Mem. That speaks of water. And the first miracle we recorded in our Bible about Jesus had to do with water. And before God would put Adam into the garden, he caused water to the river to water the garden and put Adam in there. Are you getting it? Yes, sir. Now we begin to understand some things about Adam. Now, with what you know about his zodiac sign, you can infer and you can also understand some things about him. Why God will come and he will say it's the woman whom God gave him. If you know about it, you will understand why God will come and he will say that. You know the nature of this man. We understand why he said it is God, is the woman you gave me. Who told you you're naked? Is the woman you gave me. Putting the blame back on God. I ever get it? It will make some things make sense to you. You understand. Don't read the Bible as if you are not part. You are part. If he was born under fire, we would have seen something different, a bit different. If he was born under this. But by the arrangement, what his place was, he needed to come by this. That's how he came by it. This is how he was supposed to have come. To fulfill all righteousnesses and the righteous demand of whom the first Adam was to be. And guess what? The neighbor to Libra is Scorpio. His neighbor has a snake in there. So the whole thing, like that's what I'm telling you, that if you don't really understand the first copy of the Bible, it's very difficult for you to actually, people say out of context and in context. See, context, out of context is you who saying it. But then, if your synopsis and the revelation is on point, it should have all the three confirming about the testimony of two or three, what is established. What is the star saying? The first copy. What is this one saying? What is within saying? Your synopsis also saying. Are they aligning? Are you getting it? If you keep meditation on, you get a lot of connections in there. Oh, okay, I understand. Oh, okay, I understand. Oh, this and that. Jesus knew that. He was like, my time is not yet time. My time is not yet due. My time, membrane sonya, membrane sonya. My time means membrane sonya, membrane sonya, membrane sonya. It's not yet time. It's not yet time. Okay, let them get jars of water. Let them fill them up. When they brought it, was like, let them serve it. But in serving it, they should serve the one who chairs the whole occasion. You should drink first. Why? This man is a generator. His mind is on hierarchy, order. Are you with me? So you should have a fair idea about what was actually influencing this guy, this man. And you have a little or fair idea about the very thing that was actually the energies that was influencing his underlying principles of life. And you know the amazing thing too? In the midst of the garden were two trees where the man was supposed to choose which one to eat and not to eat. I not seen the symbol of Libra over there. The balance. Amen. So, you as you are here, you didn't come by mistake. You should understand it. Understand yours. You might be in denial. But we are not imposing anything on you that that's how you are. But you now, if you see an objective, you realize that's how you are. Some of these, when we start saying, people are like, no, that's not true. No, see, we are not telling you anything. No. What we are saying, you meet someone who have not met you before, have not encountered you before, experienced you before, seen you for the first time. Which sign are you? You are Leo. Oh, Leo. Then you be like this. What's your date of birth? You mention date of birth. Okay, you are number this. Oh, number this. Then you be like this. Like the person start telling you stuff, how you behave, everything about you. Like consulting someone for a marriage inquisition, like those psychics. Okay, you are number this. Let's say you are number 5. You can marry this number, but if you go with this number, you have to do this and that. The person is telling you stuff. See, say what he's saying does not really exist, does not matter. Go and marry. You'll be shocked. What the person said. You think the person was actually saw your future. You'll be shocked. Wait, let's say someone is number 5 and another person is number 6 and you have to marry. These people's marriage would definitely give you what? 11. It is mass. 3 marrying a 2. See, you will get 5. This marriage is like 5. the more marriages, the whole marriage, I'm going a 5. You can decide, what to say. See, he does not, that person say does not define what my marriage. Don't worry, we are not imposing it on you. Write down all what we are telling you and go and marry and see if one will skip or if one will backfire. You will be shocked. It's like you are mixing salt with water. Then someone tells you that you get a salt solution. And you're like, see, this person is thinking it's a salt solution. When I finish, you see how sweet it will taste. Then you mix it. Taste and see. Taste your thing. Or like you are, 2 people are about to enter into a business, indulge into a business. Okay, you people, this is how it's going to be. So if people want to really want this business to work, you have to know how 2 and a 1 doing a business should go. How 1 and a 4 doing a business should be, how it will be like, and the counsel, the wisdom about it. You realize that the possible predictions the person gave, you people are just looking at it. You see all of them. You look at them in the face. You behold all of it. But then the counsel was given. So when you get there, you just know how to cross the bridge. Are you getting it? You know how to cross the bridge because you were told or you have seen how this is going to turn out. It is not necessarily to tell you whether you have to do the business with the person or not. It's to present to you when you go into the business, this is it. Pastor, how about those who never did those things but their business are successful? Like I told you, life is connection. The person, maybe there was a demand for a higher purpose in tea. They were just paired, having the right numbers. And before they were paired, they have been schooled on an individual level. Now they know how to compromise, how to cope with these numbers. They've met these numbers several times, had experiences with them. Because the path ahead of them was in such a way that they were not likely to come to this knowledge. So the universe and life had found a way of actually taking them through it. You are not hearing it by mistake. It is probably because you've not had that experience. So it must come to you by knowledge. Are you getting it? So don't always go like, well, this person did not go through that, so why? No, this is not the only way. But then this is the way the universe brought to me. So I'm not going to throw it away and assume that the universe should treat me like how it treated another person. No. I don't know why I am hearing this at this time, today, in this year, on this day, at this very hour. But I know the universe did it differently for someone. But I don't know about me. I don't know why he chose this path for me. But I'm not going to throw it away. And pray for the other one's experience. Do you get it? Are you with me? Are you getting the church? So have understanding about these things. Desire to know yours. I have a lot of tapes on those things. A lot of it. So you cannot place in another. Listen to it. Understand yours. I've been added things that works for you and tokens and directions for you and all that. Yes. Understand it. Don't expect so much differences you've not consciously worked towards in people that it will come by magic or it will come because you complained. No. There are some things that you complain about with people for the rest of your life. And you still keep complaining about them. Why? For them, they might, one, have not realized it or noticed it about themselves. 2, as far as they are concerned, it's nothing. 3, they are not the ones complaining. Mona more bread. Mona more bleh. So it's up to you to know how to fit in, how to cope. There are people that naturally, they give pressure. No, per their numbers and some few things about them, they give pressure. Not like consciously want to give pressure. They give pressure naturally. That's how they are. So you might not know that about the person, and you are like, let's say you're in a relationship with the person. I'm taking questions. I'm done. You're in a relationship with the person. It's like I see the person is giving you pressure. Not like pressure or the pressure out also. Like the way the person goes about, the person has or through indirect pressure. I don't know if you understand it. Or through indirect pressure. And yes, if I not, even when you are the person's friend, like the person is giving you pressure, like some silent pressure, be like that. And there are some people, because of some things about them, wherever they appear, their presence is made known. They take the attention wherever they appear. And there's something about them that when we go through the school of all those things, you know which people are like that. When they appear, they will take the attention, they will catch everyone's attention. Even, let's say, in your house, this guy does not like visitors and stuff. This guy has that. When he enters into the house, this one will be nice to him. You'll be shocked. There are people with that. Only the answer are not here. If you have a friend who is like that, and it's a he or a she, and you take the person out with your girlfriend or boyfriend, the whole conversation of that your partner and attention will be on that person. And not see if the universe says it, whom am I? If the universe is doing something, whom am I? Whom am I? It's not like the person is actually, you might have gone out with your friend and then maybe your beloved, your boyfriend or maybe your girlfriend, and then the person is conversation with this one, you might go like, are you serious? I came out with you with my friend, and all the attention is on this. Charlie, before you do that, make sure that you know your friend that you are going out with your other friend with. And yes, Adia. It's not like your friend is doing anything to attract the attention. No. There are people with that. They don't know. And there are people that are liked by people when they see them. Everyone who sees this person seems to be fond of the person. You yourself, you experienced it. Obeji. On you at the end of time. I don't know if you messaged people before. Oh, mind me. There are people like that. What's it? Please, you are married. What's your ire? And you manage. Happen. You said? Only marriage. Then you recognize, don't bring your own doctrine, which is different from the doctrine we know. Are you getting it? There are people like that too. That's how they are. You just like them. You can be angry at them, but for a while. You have to keep telling yourself you are angry at them. Why? For a while, the anger will be there for a while. It is gone. No, I'm not in talking terms with this person. You'll be there, no, you pick your phone. You start remembering things that the person said that is funny and all that. No. Then you have to come back to stuff again. No. And there are people who don't have that. Even when you like them, you don't like them. Even in liking them, you have to know which one you are so that you know how to heighten it. Do you get it? Such person who knows that he or she have an attractive or a magnetic aura around him or her. When a person is entering into any office to submit an application, the person goes with a level of confidence and faith. Why? They are looking for an HR or a PR. Oh, PR. Funny CV. Person just enter there. When the person enters, the kind of aura around the person and the way the person will carry himself about, without an interview, the person might start work that same day. The faith worked for the person. The conviction is the only thing. But you realize that, oh Lord, when I miss them, let me find favor. Let me find favor. Your favor will come, but the person will need just a little stirring of the favor. He's gone. Do you get it? On Thursday, I'll continue into the works of faith. So there are things about you that actually defines you. And there are certain things in life that you have greater faith in, and the others you have a little faith. You know it's possible, but it's very difficult for you to comprehend. When you take a water sign and you take a wind sign, these two people, they believe that in this life they can meet luck. One thing with them. They believe that they can be sudden breakthrough. They believe in that concept. When you take earth and fire, they have faith in that, though they have faith, but it's not as strong as these two people. You are fire, right? Do you believe those things are actually? You are planning. Give me the mic. No, just for you to know some practical. That's what we're doing from Thursday.
Yes, Pastor. So on Thursday, I was telling my colleagues at the office that there is no way I'll be able to make this kind of money. And they said, only GD. And I'm saying, they be GD. At this age, if me not despise the canon, also local government, tell mom despise the canon.
You see, you are water. So we are with him. Sometimes we have to insult him.
Well, may I believe that anything can happen and I can blow just pump, just like that.
Please, so it's good those online didn't hear that comment from. I didn't forget it. We can go around, you see it. It's like that. Which sign are you? Earth. Which sign are you? Earth. Do you believe what this guy believes some? No, like, you believe in systematic. Systematic. That's how it is. So for them, when you're talking about systematic, they really want to make money. There should be a structure in place. There should be a system. I should have this. But the water believes that system or no system, or they're in system or no system. Do you get it? So those people who meet that kind of thing, like, so let's say there's a declaration in church, oh, thank you, Jesus, this thing is going to happen, this is it. Most of the time, those who come back with testimonies, most of the time, easily without much stress, are usually these people. Why? Their faith easily catches it. A systematic approach. Okay. They would have to work on themselves to embrace it. They would have to consciously do something to elevate the faith. They will need more effort. When it comes to the other one, this one will need more effort. Even in gambling, one of them would like to work, and get it. The other one will just go. Because these two flows, they flow, they move, they are in constant motion. And they are the two things that moves in circles. Wind, from one end to the other. Then it moves again from one end to the other. Water moves in circles as well. Are you getting it? So for them, they believe they can meet anything along the way because they are traveling elements. They are always in motion. They believe that they can meet something. When you talk to an earth or an air, they believe that they can meet someone in their life. They can meet someone in their life like that. But when you talk to an earth or a fire, they are strategically positioning themselves. Because they are not moving like these two. And indeed, it works for these people. All of them, it works for each other. But at the point in time, the water and the wind should come to know that life is not always about meeting. It's about structures and strategic planning. This one should also come and know that life is not always about structures. Structures can fail. These things can happen. But you make room for this one too as well. So at the end, complement each other. Is it there? Are you getting it? Are you with me? So you might not understand why this one is like this. This one will not understand why. But you understand with this. That's what I'm saying, that understand people from their dimension of energy. God bless us all. Questions and reactions? Any question? Have I exhausted my time? I've exhausted my time. Have I? So we've done 2 hours. So let's take a break and come back for questions. A break. 2 minutes break. Come back to you. Yes.
Thank you, Pastor.
You are welcome.
Yes, please. The first one is you said before we came to this world, we agreed with the country, the family we are supposed to be, and the friends too. I wanted to know if did we also choose our husbands, and if yes, to why is it that people do choose husbands and they end up divorcing? Is it because another way to achieve your main aim or your glory is to divorce that person? Is it part of God's plans?
No, with the husbands whom you should live with there, that one there, it's left open. But then you chose the kind of person you should marry, not necessarily whom. Do you get it?
Yes,
you
please.
chose the kind of person you should marry.
Yes, please.
Because what makes you unique is a measure of the kind of guy you can marry, or the kind of man you can marry,
Yes, please.
or you should marry, but not specifically whom you should marry.
Yes.
But then we have other special case of apostolic marriages,
Okay.
where they choose whom.
So why is I want to know if divorce is also a means of you achieving your
Divorce.
yes.
That it depends. Maybe you divorce because this person was not someone you're supposed to have married. But by your own decision, your own discretion, divorce is not. And then, you can't necessarily say that it is God who orchestrated the divorce for you. No, you might have divorce in your hands, not just because of you or because of the things you answered to. Aside the things you answered to, the family you are coming from, what are some? That's why I said that the sin you are, the wrongs and the weaknesses you have, it does not affect what I am doing, but it has its own influence and consequences to my bloodline, on my bloodline. So, someone married in your family, he didn't take time. He married, gave birth anyhow, divorced, remarried, and it has become like an energy along the bloodline. It has not been handled by everyone. All the males in the family or all the females got married, they had to divorce, come again, and all that. You did not agree with God that you would marry and divorce. No. Okay. You agreed with God that you are coming along this bloodline and whatever there is to this bloodline. But then the divorce came in because of what has happened over the period of time and over the years in the journey of the bloodline.
Yes, please.
I get in it?
Yes, please.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. And then also with paraphilics too. I wanted to know, mostly people find it weird. I don't know why a male should wear a female dress and you are satisfied sexually. That one too, I found it very hard to.
And they are satisfied sexually, not you.
Yes, they are not me.
No, he said you. Hey. You see, you are saying not you. You are saying not you. You are looking at me and saying you. When I said you are not comfortable with it. But you comfortably and the body, you comfortably looked at me and said you. When I said you are not comfortable with it.
Okay, that the paraphilics in general, yes. So I wanted to, when you were saying, I was just thinking about it because Friday we were trying to.
They didn't choose to be like that, though. That one is not bad. That one is an issue of the body.
So I wanted to know, is it that they didn't choose so, but is it something that attacks them from preventing them from?
Yes, there are things that goes on in the womb. That's why we call some children wise. They are not young, but the child is wise, a wise child. Give me a scripture on that. Or a proper child. We have wise children and proper children. The child knows when he should come. And when his time is due, he will come. Some children, they are wise. They might have turned the other way around. When it's time for bed, they turn. We have children who are wise from the womb. We have children who are also foolish. That wisdom have to be stirred in them. They don't know they are not lying well from the womb. Those things we'll talk about it later. But we have kids like that.
Okay.
And there are certain kids, they don't know they were not supposed to have come at this time. All those who were born in Judea at the time Jesus was born, they were all killed. Are you getting it?
Yes, please.
The Bible said that this is how babies are born, by the will of the flesh. There's also the will of the flesh. So we'll look at that. The whole thing about people feeling like they have been trapped in another body. What causes it and all that. We'll look at all that. But you know that thing is actually a psychological condition.
Yes, but I was also debating with my superior that it can also be spiritual in a way.
There's spiritually, we know about the spirit part of it, or we know that one. But then it can also be tackled from science perspective. But the reason why they are talking about the whole thing on why you shouldn't chastise them and why you shouldn't kill them and all these things, just like how you don't kill a cripple. But it's a condition that you need help with.
Okay. And the last one, with the one you just spoke about, like how the water and then the air elements, how they accept things both naturally and with their faith. Yes. I was looking at what this week, the testimony I shared on Friday. Yes. With that, after you told me I should expect testimonies, frankly speaking, I was now looking for whom has money that if I contact, I'll get.
You are what?
I'm fire. Yes. But as I'm contacting you, I have the fear in me that you won't give me. It's been there for long. So at times I even fear to even text you. I fear to even text my dad's brother that I want, even though I know he's in the position to help me. But I don't know, that fear is always there. When I'm asking you, I have it. You give it to me, but make sure I check on for my answer now. So how do we deal with that one too?
That's why I said you would have to learn it. It is something you have to consciously put in effort, exert energies in there to learn it, to have it. Do you get it? Yeah. It goes the longer way to affect a lot of things.
Thank you.
Are you answered?
Yes, so I'll consciously build on that.
Yes, it's like consciously you actually take it into your meditations as well. Do you get it? You meditate on it, how you create instances of it, create it, live with it in your head. Don't throw away what you have. You are adding. Don't throw away what easily comes by. You are adding this to it.
Thank you, Pastor.
You're welcome.
Pastor, please, you said the first letter and then the last letter of our name have a role to play in our lives. So I want to know which name is affected. Is it the middle name or the last
All your
name?
name have your first name, your middle name, your last name. They all have the roles they play, what they have to say about you.
I want to use my sister as an example.
Mm-hmm.
When she was giving birth to, she was given the name Justine.
What name?
Justine.
Justine.
Yes, please.
Why is that your family? You like giving strange names like that?
Daddy.
Okay.
Daddy,
Okay.
please. Daddy pleases Justina, but
Okay.
because it's French, so we say
Okay,
Justine.
okay, I didn't hear you say Justine.
Yes, please.
That's not what. Okay, I'm not hearing it well. Because when they said I was hearing something, I was like, what is she saying? Okay. He said, please, let's leave it there. What I heard is mine. Yes, sir. Yes, please.
But along the line, she was falling sick when she was young, so they took her to my granddad, and
They changed their name.
they changed the name to Gusi. But Gu is actually a name of a god. So my mom, like everybody, have been using that name to call
But
her.
did she get well when they changed their name?
Somehow. So my question is, does that name have effect on her? And if it has effect on her, what can she do to?
It has an
change it?
effect on her if it is on her birth set.
Okay.
She has it on her documents and all that. But if she has changed everything, there's what is done.
Okay, Pastor.
Do you get it?
Yes, Pastor.
Yeah.
Thank you, Pastor. Please, my next question is about the...
And one other thing you know about names is that the nickname given to you, make sure you understand the first word and the last word. Why? Mostly the names that have influence on you is the one you are popularly known by or addressed with. So, get it. It's not Joko. No, the name you are popularly known by. It has a lot of, the one popularly known by also has its effect. It has a strong effect on you as well. So understand the technicality of that name, the number of that name, the vowels in there, the consonants in there, the first letter, the last letter. Understand all those things about the name.
Thank you, Pastor. Please, my next
Like,
question.
for example, let's say I'm called John and you call me Johnny. Me, I don't accept Johnny. Not because I don't like Johnny, but I don't accept Johnny. Miss John. Yeah, man, do Johnny. Those who has followed me and this ministry for long. You remember when I started using the name Pijab? That is when I was doing more mistakes. Pijab has the number 7, and it speaks of mistakes. There's a reason. Do you get it? The reason I actually settled with it. I made sure I did that. The P and the B has something to say. I make sure that you do all those things. Do you get it? And when I was well known everywhere as Pijab, those who have been with me for long, wherever I'm known as Pijab, there's one thing they know me for. But now I'm Pastor John. I'm back to Pastor John. But the Pijab is still there. That's for another thing. Yes, but Pastor John is also being registered. And there's what you know Pastor John for. So someone might think that Pastor had this does not do those. No. It is still there. But then, when I was known as Pijab, I was more mystical. But now Pastor John is a blend of the mystics and also relational wise, how to relate with the word and life counsels and not. It's like it puts everything together. It's taking another thing. Names, the popular name you are known by has serious effects. Don't just think it's just way. When we will tackle that this year. When we do it, you understand more about these things. Yes.
Thank you, Pastor. My next question is about the calling. Please, I want to know
about what?
The calling.
The calling.
We
yes.
answered to a call before coming here.
Yeah.
Aside.
Can you move forward a bit?
Aside Inquisition, I want to know if prophecies have a way of revealing.
Prophecies are also ways of revealing it, but yes, the prophets cannot tell you a whole lot at an instance.
Okay.
But if we are calculating or working it out, there's a lot you find.
Okay, Pastor. Pastor, please. What if I've been prophesied to that to leave this country, settle in another country, and then take a profession, but I don't end up doing that? Does that mean that I have not answered to the call that?
If you don't do it, it's simple. If you are supposed to be a lawyer and don't become a lawyer, haven't you done otherwise?
Yes, Pastor.
People you are supposed to meet over there, you will not meet them.
Okay, Pastor.
So it will be taken, if it is something that was part of a bigger plan, it will be given to another generation.
Okay, Pastor.
That is a child, or maybe it will be withheld to the next, or for some time, to the time someone is found worthy like you again.
Okay, Pastor. Thank you, Pastor.
You're welcome.
Shalom, Pastor. Shalom, family.
Shalom.
Pastor, please, I would like to thank you for today's message.
You are always welcome.
It was exactly what I was deliberating upon yesterday night before I slept.
I bless God.
Before I start, I want to ask.
Before you start.
Before I begin, I would like to ask this. It's not a question. I just want to. Okay, it's a question. So I just would like to know this one. Before Jesus came, and when he came, as he was growing up on this earth, did he know whom he was?
He did. He knew he's here.
I'm trying to say, like, did he know whom he was, like in the spirit, like in the spirit, in the state of the spirit?
Jesus was not born there in the spirit, though. He was born like how you were born, and he grew to that place.
So he knew who he
knew
was.
Where he was going to, who he used to become. After all, mind you, that he was born, his father and his mom were of two lineage, two tribes, the priest and the royal tribe. And you should know the priest will definitely inquire about the child, and the royal will also inquire about the child. So where he was coming from, they would definitely inquire about the child. And it was a tradition by the Hebrews Because look at this. Rebecca, from Abraham's hometown, was pregnant and she went for an inquisition about the kids. It's something you should know about them. There is something with them. So when he was born, the angel had said his prophecies, but he knew and had details about his life and where he's going to. He learned it.
Okay, Daddy, I know his parents they had fair idea about the kind of child that they were bearing. So what I'm trying to say is, I believe Jesus growing up, like maybe the parents wouldn't have to pour everything out to him. But I just want to know whether he knew within himself that he was the Messiah.
What if he knew within himself that he was the Messiah?
Yes.
I didn't grab with him.
No, Daddy.
He was not my friend. I was not his friend. Was I his friend? Was he my friend? We never had a conversation. Yes, okay, because I'm Pastor John, so he's seeing me as John the Baptist. Okay, it's like this. There was a knowing in him. Speak to a little child. There's a knowing in the child of where he's going to, or whom he is, or whom he is to become. Do you get it?
Yes, Pastor.
There was a knowing within him, his spirit. Our spirit bear witness to the Spirit of God. There's a knowing within his spirit. That's why the Bible says we should bring up a child the way he ought to. There is a knowing within his spirit, because his spirit knows where it's coming from, what is here to do. But because it is in this body, he is made to forget a lot. But the spirit can sense there is something ahead. Now, by the way he was born and all, in growing up, his parents will raise him after an order. And he knowing all there is about his name, and his parents knowing the kind of child he is, they'll begin to communicate some things to him from his childhood stage. So he had a fair idea, not because it was supernaturally communicated to him, but because his parents did what they were supposed to have done.
Daddy, permit me, yesterday I was really troubled. So I believe it was God who made you preach this message. But I want to know, if Mary and Joseph knew about the child that they were bearing, why would they even, like, in the scriptures, there was a part that they were looking for Jesus. And Jesus answered his parents by saying, don't they know he will be in his father's house? In his father's house. Like,
why would they be looking for him?
Yes.
They were humans. He was a child. They had the responsibility to take care of him because he was a child. He was not old at that time. He was a child.
Okay.
Do you get it?
Yes, Pastor.
Are you settled with it?
I'm settled with it.
No matter what, he was given to them as a child, and they had a responsibility to take care of him as a child. And they have developed the feelings that every parent will have towards a child. I didn't forget it.
Yes, Pastor.
My mom knows I'm a pastor. I'm a man of God. But as far as she's concerned, I'm her son. I didn't forget it. So far as she's concerned, I'm her son. Despite mother, His Excellency Nana Akufo-Addo's mom, it is her son, not the president. Do you get it?
Yes, Pastor.
This is his assignment, but this is whom he is to her. Because he breastfed the child.
Yes, Pastor. Yeah.
She did all mother does to the child, so she had that bonding with the child.
Yes, Pastor.
So definitely, they were being mothers to the child. And they knew the kind of destiny he carried. And they knew the kind of responsibility that destiny of the child puts them or brings to them.
Yes, Pastor.
Do you get it?
Yes, Pastor. Pastor, also, if I knew or I chose whatever that I'm coming to do on this earth, I believe you said I chose the parents that I chose my parents, I chose the work that I'm supposed to do, or all those stuffs. I want to know, why would there be a prophecy about my life that I'll have to travel to another country in order to prosper?
Because it's part of what he came with. Joseph in the Bible, he had a dream, right? He had a dream, right?
Yes, Pastor.
If you are supposed to travel and it's part of all what you came with, so far as you appeared in Ghana does not mean that everything is here in Ghana. You appeared in Ghana, you chose this path, you came here. But for you to achieve why you are here, maybe you are here to connect destinies here to outside. That is why you are here. So you definitely have to travel outside. Do you get it? You chose it, but then you appeared here. But it is not just here. It is here and another country connecting. You came as a connector. But you have to appear somewhere. In order to meet the right people whom you can influence with what you came with. So you check your hands and you realize that, or you check your style and you realize that you have traveling in there. Do you get it? As you were coming, you were programmed. The programming about your coming is that you should travel outside. You chose Ghana. You chose Korea, but you are supposed to go to maybe UK or US.
Pastor, why didn't I choose US from there?
No, you are not getting. Be open towards the answer I'm giving you. I chose. The whole thing is that the reason why I came to this earth, do you get it?
Yes, Pastor.
It's for a purpose. I agreed to. I saw a glory. I agreed to it. Now, when I was coming, I chose to come to Ghana. Do you get it?
Yes, Pastor.
To come to Ghana.
Yes, Pastor.
And there were people I was connected to. If I appear directly in UK, what I'm looking for will not happen. But if I should appear in Ghana, the reason why I am needed in this time is for me to appear in Ghana, grow up over here, meet the people I have to meet, so that when I go, the people I have to help, I've met them, and I know what kind of help to give them.
Okay.
And I've had the kind of experience I need that will make me whomever I'll become in UK.
Okay. So, Daddy, let's say it's for connection's sake. That's why.
Not just for connection, it's for destiny's sake. The destiny is not just the end, though. The process to the end, all factors into it.
Okay.
Are you getting it?
Yes, Pastor.
Maybe the reason why when you travel outside you'll be successful is because of the kind of life you lived here. You came here, you were born, the person was born into a very poor family. The person was actually compelled to study because of the kind of family he was born into. Yeah. And to be more focused. Are you getting it?
Yes, Pastor.
Now, the person developed all these skills, not because he traveled. It was because of where he was born.
Yes, Pastor.
So to fulfill his destiny or his assignment, he had to appear here, go through all this training before traveling outside. Are you with me?
Yes, Pastor.
Someone, because of his destiny, what he's here for, the good works he's here for, and by the workmanship of God, which is his makeup, he has to appear in UK or Asia and make money over there and come to Africa to invest and make more.
Okay.
Do you get it? It is the build up to all the journey. Everything plays a role in you becoming the ultimate you. Yeah, so the journey you chose had in mind all the process involved, so you get to what you saw before saying yes.
Yes, Pastor.
Do you get it?
Yes, Pastor.
Yeah, so it is UK that I'll travel to make money. It is Asia that my wealth is. It is this place that my dad is. Joseph, it was not at where his father was. He was actually supposed to be that destiny, that generation that will transport or that will give the people of Israel access to Egypt in order to pave way for a Moses to come. Do you get it?
Yes, Pastor.
To make it possible for a Moses to come and to receive the education and the foundation he needs to even write Genesis for you to come and read. So don't just see like, if I'll be rich, I can be rich anywhere. We are looking at the person making that statement, and we are looking at his destiny. If someone makes that statement, it's not a generalized statement. Don't generalize it. Maybe you pay your star, pay the arrangement. You make it here in Ghana.
Yeah.
We understand. But me, or another person's what is not here in Africa or in Ghana. It is foreign travel. Are you getting it?
Yes, Pastor.
Or also there, no.
Okay.
Yeah, inti ochusu ahase no de bae. But han ochusu bae no. Ne you know ahase. But he has to go through some things, pick some things up, know some things from this place, so that he can move to this side because of the bigger plan. Because of the role he came to play in the bigger plan, which is the purpose of God, the eternal purpose. Are you with me?
Yes, Pastor. Pastor, please, my last one.
Are you okay with it?
Yes, I'm okay with it. With regards to people mastering some aspect of their life from there and coming to earth to master something, a different aspect. I want to know, assuming I mastered something with football in my previous life, and I came to this earth, and I was supposed to maybe master, I don't know, but I'm not sure. Could there be an instance whereby I'll master wealth and master poverty here?
No, you are not here to master poverty. No one is here to master poverty. You are here to master something else. It's just like you've mastered wealth, but you didn't master generosity.
Okay.
Do you get it?
Please, the scripture which says some people are born poor. Like, how does that relate to what I'm saying?
He's not here to master poverty. I don't know if you get it. It is not, he was not born poor to master poverty. It is what poverty subjects you to learn. That is why he came from a poor background, or he was born poor. And if you were born rich, you are not here to master richness. You are here to master what riches can build in a man. You are here to master an aspect of life. You were poor, but you were born here to master wealth. It's not just the wealth that you are mastering. When we say wealth, what are the things that will come to mind? You have money, you have houses, you have things.
Yeah.
These are things that you can relate with in this dimension of your existence. Up there, do they have Trasaco? The world you came from, is there anything like Trasaco?
I can't tell.
No, like the world you came from, you should know that there are some things here which are not the same over there.
Yeah.
But then there is wealth over there. People have mastered wealth. So is it just the material things that you can actually qualify or relate with that the person was brought here to master? No. It is the personality, the character, the qualities that having these things built in you. That is why the person is here.
Oh, okay.
So the poverty is not that obediya or no. It is supposed to build something within the person.